My name is Ewald Stoteler. I am a homeopath. I started classical homeopathy, my study in 1977, and was very much into studying organon and chronic diseases. First organon, and after 6 or 7 years, when I got the impression that I understood the organon quite well, a new book, Hahnemann's Grand Manual for the daily practice of chronic diseases, was added to the study of the organon, and it turned my whole world around. So from the beginning onward, I have been very thorough in following the footsteps of Hahnemann, and that give us a new approach, old approach, the classification of disease. The classification of disease, as a homeopath, we normally say we don't treat diseases. Yet the second book, the Grand Manual of Hahnemann, is called the Chronic Diseases. And also in the organon, the paragraph 71 to 81 is all talking about and discussing different diseases and disease forms. Well, this change of paradigm creates a huge difference in the homeopathic approach. So in practice it is that we follow the symptoms and reach back to the etiology. So different disease forms, different etiologies. So inherited disease tendencies, constitutional diseases, biographical diseases, incidents, epidemic diseases, iatrogenic diseases. So different disease forms, which each of these disease forms have a different group of remedies that should be applied in these different disease forms and can cure the etiology, the cause that lies at the background. This has been my primary focus for the last, in daily practice for the last 46 years. And I've been teaching in many places, from Finland to the UK, from Germany to Switzerland to the USA, lately to the USA, and for 25 years, different seminars on Sicily in the Dutch language, in the German language, and also in the English language. We started a school based on these two books of Hahnemann in the Netherlands, and also a school in Japan, which is thriving, and also there are plans for this classification of disease, the basic model of Hahnemann's homeopathy, for the coming year in the USA. I wrote a book, Hahnemann's Homeopathy, which is a synthesis, might be considered a synthesis between organon and chronic diseases, and added new insights which belong to the current age. So this is a topic for an interview next month, and also a topic where you have, of course, the possibility to ask questions, the different approach, and giving what I call Contextual Materia Medica, the inheritance which creates the basis for the constitution which creates the basis for the biography, and we have different groups of remedies. The Nosodes for the inheritance, most of the Nosodes, the mineral remedies. In Hahnemann's chronic diseases, he's also always talking about mineral remedies as a constitutional remedy, and then we have the plant and animal remedies as acutes. The intercurrent remedies, the alternative prescription of homeopathic remedies, to stimulate one remedy, making use of the complementary effect, using the LMs or acute potencies, Hahnemann's latest discovery during his lifetime, and which he said this is the optimal potency, widely ignored or not coming into play in homeopathic practice. So my experience over the last decades is that this is a very interesting substance for homeopaths who like to look a little bit further to the future and in the background at the meantime. So we combine the past, and many homeopaths did not read or study thoroughly Hahnemann's chronic diseases, in which he says, this is my grand manual, this is how I tell you to treat chronic diseases. And if it's read, it's very often not rightly understood. And so I made it my life's goal to make a combination or an integration with the philosophy, Organon, 6th edition, not the 4th edition, the 6th edition, and the chronic diseases. I hope this will be interesting subjects for you, and hope to see you during the interview and during my lectures.